We have three different styles of books. I just have three simple ones here. They all have different cover options, so try not to think too much about the cover. But right on top, I have what's called a press printed album. It's machine made here in America in the Midwest, and it's a nice matte finish book. It's press printed, like it's the same technology as a magazine, but I order this nice book where it's a print mounted to a board, and then the other print is on the other side. I love that it lays flat like this, so there's no pull on the spine at all, and I don't lose anything in the middle. I can design for the whole spread. It's a nice book. Generally, the black and whites look pretty good. The color consistency is not quite where I would like it to be, but for the price point, you cannot beat this album. This is my most popular parent album. It's also very popular for family books, like baby books, family reunions, that sort of thing. It's still a nice, thick, solid heirloom, really well put together. And like I said, it lays flat, and I just love that there's not really anything to worry about with the seam right here, you know? So it's a good book. It's a great book. It's very inexpensive to produce, so I can pass that on to you, and you're really paying more for the time to edit the images and lay out the design. But that's a press printed album, and like I said, it's more of a parent album. They do come in a lot of sizes. The next step up from the press printed is regular photo paper, okay? So the regular photo paper, just like you would get if you ordered prints from a photo lab, they're a little bit shinier, and they are coated with a plastic coating. So I still always only offer really high quality books that lay flat, and there's not a lot of pressure on that spine. But over time, with a photo like this, you can see a little discoloration right here where the crease is. So it's not that big a deal for most people. I think it's fine, but it's a consideration. And it's really just because it's folding this paper that has a coating of plastic is why we get this line. It still lays flat. It's still a really high quality book. These are pretty affordable generally, but you know, over time that line will maybe drive you crazy. So I usually do try to design without that. I usually try to do something like this so you don't really notice it. But anyway, that's a photographic paper book. So we went from press printed to now regular photographic paper. This is, I find that more like grandparents, parents, people who are pretty traditional in general prefer the regular photo paper just because it's what they expect. The drawback to this and that press printed book is that I have to order in spread 5 pages increments. So we can't do 26 pages, for example. We'd have to do 30. We have to do 25. And sometimes they max out at 50 sides, 25 pages, which is hard for the way I photograph weddings. So there's a few things like that that I have to worry about, which can get annoying, especially if you change your mind halfway through the design process and we have an odd number of pages, then I might have to either sell you 4 more pages or take out a page. So anyway, those 2 books are a little harder in that. My top seller is this book, which I love, 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 love. I have so many samples of this. If you've been in person, you've seen them. They're gorgeous. They're not cheap, but they're worth every penny. It's a 100% eco-friendly company. Like even the leathers, everything's eco-friendly. The glues, everything. All sourced sustainably. It's handmade by a human in America, which is amazing. Most of these other ones are all machine made. And they're just gorgeous, stunning books. We can do mix and match papers and covers. Everything's kind of custom, even though we have set ones that, you know, are recommended. And all of these books, I include a clamshell box that fits it. This one is magenta and it's a little overbearing, so I would never go so crazy as to do the book and the box is the same again. But if you look on my website, you'll see a lot of variations that I've done. I like to have fun with it and surprise my couples with a cool clamshell box. So as far as the printing goes, this is fine art, heirloom, museum grade inkjet printing. Seriously, like this is what like museums would print a photograph and hang it on the wall. So it's really high quality inkjet. It's archival, really, really thin pages, which actually surprisingly hold up really well over time. And then the best thing about this book is I absolutely do not have to worry about this gutter at all. I can put photos in the middle of the gutter with no discoloration, and it's beautiful. I mean, look how gorgeous these black and whites are. Just beautiful. Nice, rich black and whites in this book. So I would say color photos look a little better in photo paper, but the black and whites cannot be beat with this printing. It's just amazing. And as you can see, the color photos still are very vibrant in this book. I want to show you this one real quick of the ceremony, which is so vibrant, like that, like a boom. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful printing. And I just, like I said, I love that I don't have to worry about where that gutter is. So these still lay flat like all the other ones. I always sell lay flat books because that's what's best for you. It's a true heirloom quality. And then the other thing about this one I love is that because they're such thin pages, if we have a lot of pages, it's not a big burly heavy book. Like some of the other ones can get heavy really quickly, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I really like that I can have a lot of pages in a thinner book. The other thing about this is it doesn't matter how many pages I have. I can add one more page, one more page, one more page. I don't have to go in increments of 5 like a lot of the other companies. And there's also no maximum amount of pages. So for example, I did a 7-week trip to Africa last year, and this is the album company I will use when I finally sit down to do my book, because obviously there were 7 weeks of seeing elephants and family and traveling and biking around and doing all kinds of stuff. So I don't want to be limited by how many pages I have in a book, and I want it all in one book. So I'm going to do this album company for my big Africa book. So for a wedding, I think it's perfect. It's beautiful, gorgeous, stunning. I mean, if you're spending this much money on a wedding, you might as well have some gorgeous heirloom to show for it, It's a beautiful, beautiful album. I really love this album. The other thing is just so nice, like I said, is it's all custom. We can choose the covers, and I love it. The customer service is amazing. So that's it. That's my recap of the types of albums that I offer, the 3 main types. They all come in different sizes, different shapes, different page count, with or without a box. But this is my fine art, inkjet printed, heirloom quality, archival, eco-friendly fine art album. And then you have a normal photographic book like you're used to. Like most people probably offer this book, most photographers. Still a nice book, usually comes in square, and it's usually limited by how many pages you can have. And then we have press printed. So this is the lowest end, but it's still a beautiful book for a parent album. Parents love this book. It's gorgeous. And it's also very appropriate for family pictures, family reunions, and that sort of thing. And they don't make a giant 11 by 14, which is what I really love. So this is a 9 by 12, this is a 12 by 12, and that's an 11 by 14. And that's it. Those are my 3 types: press printed, photographic, and fine art. Enjoy. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, see more tutorials, more videos, more examples of holiday cards, books, metal prints, all kinds of jazz. All right, thanks for watching. Take it easy. Bye.